Morgan giving Abyss instructions. He's letting him know he's got it. He wants him to stand over there in the corner, and it's one of those situations where he's just not confident in Abyss right now. Abyss always seems to do something to screw him up, and he needs to get back on that right page, especially before this Sunday. And look at Robert Roode, doesn't waste any time, goes right after him.
Do you think it's a case where Morgan is losing confidence in Abyss, or he's losing patience in his tag team partner?
Well, that's a great point, Mike. I mean, it is. I mean, Abyss is one of those that we know that he's got that one-track mind, and when he messes up, you know, it can be devastating, and it was for Matt Morgan, and he's losing patience, and this is going to be one of the biggest nights of his life this Sunday in Charlotte at Genesis.
Thought it was interesting that Abyss told Lauren that he blames Beer Money for causing the friction, causing the problems with his tag team partner, Matt Morgan. But when he talked about reverting to his old ways this Sunday at Genesis, he also said, don't mistake kindness for weakness.
Well, I'll tell you, I think that, you know, one of the scariest things in professional wrestling is a destructive Abyss. I mean, we remember how Abyss was. I mean, this is somebody that will do anything possible to get a victory. I mean, he fears no pain and no man, and he needs to revert back to some of that, Mike. I mean, he needs to find some kind of a balance between the old Abyss and who he is now.
Jeremy Borash has huge news from the annual Tokyo Dome show in Japan. All the scoop on the event that was co-promoted by TNA and New Japan Pro Wrestling. They announced 40,000 fans in attendance at the January 4 show. JB has all the details at TNA Mobile.
How about the sound of those shots from Matt Morgan to the chest of Robert Roode? And you could see Robert Roode was just walking away, and Abyss comes in, gives him a little bit of a meeting of the minds, and then flings Robert Roode back and lets Matt Morgan know that, hey, I got your back.
Here's the chance for Morgan to finish off Roode, but wait a minute. Look at Jacqueline come in from behind while referee Rudy Charles was distracted up the entrance ramp.
And poked him right in the eyes, and that was enough to allow Robert Roode to use that neck breaker and take control. And now look at him just pounding on the head of the Blueprint.
Rapid fire shots, one after the other, to the top of the head of the Blueprint, and then Roode drops the elbow repeatedly. Look at the third time with all that weight and power right on it. Pin. Boy, Morgan powers out even before one.
I'll tell you what, though, that's what makes Beer Money so successful. It's not just Robert Roode, it's Jacqueline as well. I mean, they are an incredible team. They are such opportunists. When they see an opening, they take it. If they need to turn things around in their favor, they'll do whatever it takes. Doesn't matter. They offer no apologies, and that's why they've held these belts for so long.
Roode gonna go up to the middle rope, and when Morgan turns around, you see that Roode powers off the ropes, snaps his neck, and right on it, cover, and another near fall.
I'll tell you what, Matt Morgan right now in total disarray. Ever since Jacqueline got involved, Robert Roode's taken over, and it just shows you that the strength of Robert Roode. I mean, we know how physically impressive Matt Morgan is, but don't take anything away from one half of the tag team champions, Robert Roode.
Want to remind you, still to come tonight here on Impact in HD, it will be BG James, the longtime friend of Jeff Jarrett, the founder of TNA, going one-on-one against the man who sucker punched him 2 weeks ago. I'm talking about the Olympic gold medalist Kurt Angle.
Well, speaking of Jeff Jarrett, let's face it, Jeff Jarrett, the King of the Mountain, and Mick Foley right now have got to be in grave concern because of the promise that the Main Event Mafia gave them that they were going to take the two of them out tonight. Nice drop kick by Matt Morgan.
How about that leg extension from the big 7-foot, 300-pound Blueprint? Swings and misses with the clothesline, with that carbon footprint was right on the money.
I mean, with his height, he's able to put that foot right flat in your face. Oh, but how about James Storm spit in the face, but it cost him. Because Matt Morgan just took it and then gave him the big blow, and now he sends Robert Roode out on the floor, and Robert Roode right now grabbing his knee, it looks like.
Well, you can see, Don, right here in front of the broadcast table where Robert Roode came crashing down onto the arena floor, and he is really favoring the knee. Referee Rudy Charles putting in the count. James Storm trying to help his Beer Money partner to his feet.
Robert Roode going to shake it off here and get back in as you see Rudy Charles counting, but that just shows you what can happen. I mean, Matt Morgan just flung him so far out there, and he just, when he landed, he caught the leg wrong, but Robert Roode says he's okay, going to get back in. Well, maybe he's not.
Well, it looks to me like Robert Roode having second thoughts. You see James Storm call over the TNA trainer, Kevin Costin, to check on the knee of his tag team partner.
You know, obviously he saw something in the back because he's watching this on the monitor, and, you know, it's just one of those things where a guy lands wrong, and you can see how this thing has just come to a halt here as the trainer checking the knee, and Matt Morgan just, he thinks it's a ruse, but you have to be thinking that with Robert Roode and James Storm.
Robert Roode has injured his knee and has told referee Rudy Charles he cannot continue the match. So the winner of this contest via referee stoppage is the Blueprint, Matt Morgan.
Have to immediately ask the question, what about the condition of Robert Roode? I mean, we're just 3 days away from Genesis and the TNA World Tag Team title defense against Matt Morgan and the Monster Abyss.
You're right. I mean, wait a minute. We see Jay Lethal and Consequences Creed. Look at this. They've got the briefcase with a tag title shot with them. Don't go anywhere. Stay tuned.
Black Machismo, Consequences Creed with the Feast or Fired case. Could they be cashing in?
Everybody knows the rules to Feast or Fired. You can cash in your title shot anytime you want. And since the tag champions are out here apparently in perfect health, then we're gonna cash in our title shot right here, right now.
Wow, talk about taking advantage of the situation. That's what Lethal and Creed are doing here.
But what does this mean for Matt Morgan and Abyss? They're the #1 challengers. They're the top contenders.
Feast or Fired is all about opportunity. You take it when you feel the opportunity's right for you, and you gotta give Lethal and Creed credit. They realize that they got a 2-on-1 advantage right now as Robert Roode. He's in severe pain, and James Storm right now is going to have to carry the brunt of the load.
Boy, I agree. I mean, Feast or Fired, it's one of those things where it is all about timing. You put your career at stake. Your TNA livelihood goes on the line. So when you get that tag team title shot, if you feel like you could be opportunistic by taking it the right time at the right moment, that's when you cash in.
And think about the mental edge they have right now. James Storm, Robert Roode, they're wondering what the condition they're going to be in come Genesis this Sunday. Now all of a sudden they've got to switch gears right away, get themselves in a mind frame that they might not even have the titles come this Sunday.
And is this going to be a tag team match? Or is it going to turn into a 2-on-1 handicap match? Taking a look at Robert Roode, and boy, he's trying to put some weight on that leg, on that knee. Doesn't look good from here.
Well, I tell you, I mentioned earlier, James Storm's going to do the brunt of the work, there's no doubt, but Robert Roode knows what's at stake. I think he's going to suck it up. He'll get in that corner and try to be there to help if he can. Consequently, look at this, this kind of became a slap fest, and then that shot by Lethal, and now they're going right after Storm, and you can tell they were looking for a situation like this in which to catch these in. They came ready, and they are prepared.
Wow. Taking it right to James Storm. Pin attempt here by Creed. Yes, the TNA World Tag Team titles are on the line. Beer Money Incorporated forced to defend against Consequences Creed and Jay Lethal. There goes Creed for the ride. Here comes Storm at him, but Creed got the boot right up in his face.
Now this may be something little as you see him just come out of that somersault and nail that clothesline. 1, 2. But look at the situation in the ring right now. You've got Lethal and Creed. They've got the wrestling gear on. They came prepared. You've got James Storm in cowboy boots and his blue jeans. I mean, that can become a hindrance. And I mean, look at Creed and Lethal. They're taking advantage and almost had the pin.
Challengers working like a well-oiled machine. Lethal almost put Storm away. Machismo gonna go high from the top. Double sledge right between the eyes.
1, 2. And again, Storm gets it up just in time, but I'll tell you what, as they battle him 2-on-1, and Robert Roode has just got to be in severe pain for the fact that he's not coming in, not even giving Storm some kind of a break. James Storm right now is a man on an island.
There goes Creed, shot off by his own partner, Lethal. Lethal follows up with the kick. Creed goes springboard with the face plant on Storm.
Here we go. 1, 2, and again, Storm able to get the shoulder up in time. He's got to find just something, and maybe that's it, a jawbreaker. But he misses. Look at him throwing those haymakers, And Creed was expecting it and planted his perfectly.
Here comes Creed. You saw outside the tag by Lethal. The slide through with the baseball kick by Creed. And now Creed screams across to Black Machismo. Well, they've got something up their sleeves.
Suicide dive, though, as Jay Lethal, remember, he tagged himself in, and Storm thought he got away with something, but he forgot Lethal was coming. And these guys are just absolutely doing what they want as Matt Morgan and Abyss look helplessly on. 1, 2, oh, so close. I mean, how many more times can James Storm kick out?
Boy, we have seen incredible teamwork as, again, Morgan and Abyss so concerned about this situation with the tag team titles at stake this Sunday. But what teamwork here by Creed and Lethal, albeit against one half of Beer Money Incorporated. Scoop and another slam on Storm. Creed gonna head up to the top rope.
And you can see Morgan and Abyss wondering what this all means to them and what it means to them for this Sunday as Consequences Creed trying to get to the top, trying to balance himself. Robert Roode, though, comes in just in time, able to grab the foot, and he crotches him.
First involvement of the match. And let's see if Storm can take advantage. Here's 2.
Oh, so close. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
And we are back on Impact, the impromptu TNA World Tag Team title match. Consequences Creed, Black Machismo looking to cash in the Feast or Fired title shot in what has turned into a handicap match. Limited involvement from Robert Roode, but now it looks like Roode is going to get into the match as you see the tag from Storm.
And think about it, it was Robert Roode himself that turned this thing around. I mean, James Storm was getting it handed to him because it was 2-on-1. He picked his spots, and he picked it perfectly, and that's what makes Beer Money so great, as they're able to somehow turn it around, even with a one-legged Robert Roode out there.
Boy, did you notice that after the double team move, how Roode is still favoring the knee, and he puts a lot of power behind that clothesline, and then going to go right back to the offense here. But boy, long term, you have to wonder if he's going to be able to go with this knee much longer.
Well, this shows you how important these belts are to these guys. This shows you what they mean to them. As you saw Storm clap his hands behind the back of Rudy Charles, and now you see Robert Roode going to take advantage of it and do whatever he can do to inflict damage on Consequences Creed. But these guys, I mean, they cherish these belts. And no matter what it takes, no matter what pain they've got to go through, they'll do whatever they can to keep them.
Creed sent out to the arena floor where the pride of Tennessee, Jacqueline, is putting in some shots outside in the back of Consequences Creed. Jay Lethal down here, but referee Rudy Charles concerned about getting Lethal in the corner, but at the same time, Jacqueline is just beating the hell out of Creed.
Boy, you said that right. I mean, just laying those knees in, laying those wicked fists in there, and Consequences Creed just gets the shoulder up in time.
Boy, did you see the look on the face of James Storm? He made eye contact with Robert Roode, almost as if saying he wonders if he should tag in his partner at this point, or if he should stay in the match solo.
Well, I think Robert Roode right now is going on adrenaline. He wants to be a part of this. Creed, though, gets out of the way at the last second, and Storm lands into Robert Roode, and that cost him, and then Creed just turned Storm inside out with that shoulder.
Well, both men down. You saw the mid-ring collision between Consequences Creed and James Storm. Referee Rudy Charles puts in the count at the same time. I'm looking over here at Robert Roode, who's laying out on the arena floor. Jay Lethal looks like he's ready to get the tag from Creed, who's on the far side of the ring.
Well, somehow Creed's got to find a way to get over there and tag in Lethal, because you can see he's still, oh, well, that's one way of doing it. Just go right over the top of Storm, and here comes Lethal.
Machismo has Storm in his sights. Big right hand, and look at him. 2, 3, 4 shots to the head. There goes Storm for the ride. The quick reversal shoots him off. Big flying forearm shot. Running clothesline by Lethal. And Machismo takes him down again.
Well, you just feel that momentum just completely turning around, as it's obvious that Robert Roode may be out of gas, and oh, a little acrobatics there by Black Machismo, and then puts the feet right in the face. He rolls him over. 1, 2. Oh my God, Storm did that on just pure reaction.
Instinct and reaction enables Beer Money to, at this point at least, still hang on to those tag team titles. Lethal waiting for Storm to get to his feet, and when he does, he goes springboard, but Storm moves out of the way, and then Storm doubles him over with the boot, gonna take him up to the shoulder.
And it was a boot, and here he is, going for the eye of the Storm, gonna spin him around, and puts him, here he goes. 1, 2. Oh, not enough, as you see Lethal gets that shoulder up.
TNA World Tag Team title matchup continues. It's a look of frustration on the face of the Tennessee Cowboy, James Storm, as again he looks out. He sees his partner, Robert Roode, who at this point has turned into a cheerleader.
Well, I think he's doing that for his own benefit, too, just trying to get himself psyched up. But Storm knows it. He knows he's got to do it all right now, and he's doing it. Puts those knees right into the back. Lethal, trying to get control, going for that lethal combination, and he hits it.
Backbreaker, face plant, combination is lethal. And Black Machismo heads up top. Jacqueline gets involved again, and now it's Creed and Jacqueline outside. From the top, there's the elbow drop.
And he hits it perfectly, but the referee right now, of course, is distracted, and now Robert Roode's got the case. Oh, but how about that? Lethal kicked him right in that bad knee, and now Lethal's got the case in his hand as the referee's still distracted between Consequences, Creed and Jacqueline. Oh! And he uses it and just crushes him.
Knockout blow to the head. Count 2.
They got
new
it.
champions.
Here are your winners and new TNA World Tag Team Champions, Consequences Creed and Black Machismo Jay Lethal.
Oh, if there has ever been the definition of opportunistic, we have seen it here tonight on Impact. Black Machismo, Jay Lethal, Consequences Creed. They cash in the Feast or Fire title shot, and they have become TNA World Tag Team Champions.